Okay, let me stop you right there. First of all, let me answer your simple question. Apollo, why did this video take so long? Well, allow me to retort. For the life of me, I tried my hardest several times to just talk about this show, but I couldn't get it out right. I don't know. Something about the Royal Rumble 2019 baffled my mind, and I needed to think about it. I needed to rewatch the show. I even needed to wait this long to watch the Raw and SmackDowns after. So be prepared, everyone. This is a big video. This is a lot of opinion, and I needed the Raw and SmackDown after to help me verify some of this. So if we can just keep it in control, we're going to get through this. I believe it. We can enjoy the rest of January and get into February. Let's try. Let's try, everyone. What's up? It's your boy here, Apollo. Down, down, up, up. Welcome, finally, after several days, to my results and review video for the Royal Rumble 2019. I've tried so hard to give my thoughts and opinions to the show, but I needed to wait and see where this went so I could feel better or worse about it, depending on how things looked. So, we're going to go into this with cool heads. We're going to talk about the aftermath. We're going to talk about what's next, because as I've said, I am up to date with Raw and SmackDown after the Royal Rumble, enough to know what's going on. Let's try. Here we go. Starting with the kickoff, good. We had Booker, we had Coach, we had JBL, we had King, we had Shawn Michaels, just a few people talking around, fun stuff, no issues there. And then let's get to the wrestling on the kickoff. Now, we were ready for 2 championship matches, but there was a bonus match thrown in very last minute, which is something that WWE haven't done on a kickoff for a little bit now, honestly. But indeed, we got a bonus match. What was it? Well, it was a tag team match with the Raw Tag Team Champions Bobby Roode and Chad Gable not defending their titles against Razor from the Authors of Pain with Drake Maverick and Scott Dawson. What? Is there a purpose to this? I don't know, and I don't think there really was. Apparently, Akam is injured. Akam is the other member of the Authors of Pain, and Drake Maverick went to see the Authority and was granted a match against the champions with Scott Dawson subbing in for Akam. And I guess if they won, it would have made things look good for the Revival and or the Authors of Pain. Well, guess what? They didn't. Bit of a miscommunication. Accidentally, a shot from the top rope by Dawson striking Razor. Bit of an argument. Tag team champions took advantage, hit their wonderful neckbreaker moonsault combination on Scott Dawson for the 1-2-3. Raw tag team champions win the match. It wasn't necessary. If this was filler, I don't really have an issue with it. And it definitely didn't impact anything going into Raw. So not really a downer on this one. Just, I'll take it as filler. Thank you for the match. No issues. One funny thing to mention, though, there was a botch on the outside while this match was going on. Apparently, and I missed this, a cameraman fell down, and the producers did not take attention to direct the camera or any other shot to anything else while this was happening. They just showed him falling down and sitting for like a good 5 seconds, I think. I haven't seen this yet, and if it did happen, that's hilarious. But let's move on to the second match. The United States Championship match. If there was any match that was not going to be getting any swerve of any kind, I would have looked you right in the eye, my fellow Apollo Nation member, and told you this was the match. It was a rematch. Nobody cared about the feud, and I think people were just looking forward to this being over. Before I go into it, by the way, I believe I'm having a bit of a lighting difficulty. If there's a bit of flashes, let me know. I might need to fix this at the same time. I think we can get through this okay, so let's just see if we can keep going. Rusev and Nakamura had a good little match. Lana was there. At one point late in the match, Nakamura was going to remove the turnbuckle pad. Lana got on the apron and protested. The referee did not at all look at Nakamura. He was completely focused on Lana. Nakamura took off the turnbuckle pad, although the exposed turnbuckle was never used bear that in mind. Nakamura just yelling at Lana. Rusev goes for a shot. He misses, hits Lana. Lana falls off the apron and appears to injure her leg. And that's actually a key point to one of the best moments, possibly the best moment from this show. And when I say possibly, I mean it was the best moment of this show going into that leg injury. We'll talk about that later. Meanwhile, Rusev seems to be distracted. Although he's not saying, "Are you okay, Lana?" He just looks down saying, "Lana, get up. Lana, get up." It's like, I think she's hurt, Rusev. Maybe check on her. But Kinshasa to the back of the head. Did not know at first that was a Kinshasa, but I was ready for it. 1, 2, 3. Shinsuke Nakamura wins the United States Championship for a second time on the Royal Rumble kickoff. What? What? What just happened? Oh, I've been hearing a lot that the United States Championship has become the cursed championship of the WWE. That statement is starting to become one of the most accurate statements of 2019. This was not at all anybody saw coming. And if you did, I want to say you're lying. But if you really believed it, then I hope you enjoyed it, because I didn't see that coming. Rusev's reign has already been cut short. It seemed like he just won it on, I think it was the New Year's episode of SmackDown or the New Year's Eve episode. I'm not too sure which. Seems like he just won it for the cheap pop. And now Nakamura just wins it back. Great, I'm so glad we have to go through that, except the thing is, and this makes this video a bit more special, I know the results of Raw and SmackDown. I've waited. I needed time to think about the show and the aftermath, and let's talk about the aftermath of this program. Okay. Oh, before we dive in, let's talk about the revival. Well, not revival, but Scott Dawson and Razor versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Tag team champions, not on Raw at all this week. Disgusting. Honestly disgusting how they're treating them as tag team champions. But the revival were, including Dash Wilder, who did not show up at the Royal Rumble kickoff for some reason. Wilder and Dawson fought Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. That should have been the Royal Rumble kickoff match in the first place. They won. Sadly, Hawkins' losing streak is continuing. But maybe this culminates with Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins winning the tag team titles and breaking the losing streak of Kurt Hawkins. We can dream, can't we? Let's dream. But when it comes to the United States Championship program, well, we dove into SmackDown this week and we found out Nakamura was going to defend his United States Championship. No, not against Rusev, against R-Truth. R-Truth, who was supposed to be the number 30 entrant in the Royal Rumble. We'll get to that later. Like I said, this is a long video and a lot of opinion going into this. I'm trying to contain myself, but I think we can do it. This might be a marathon, really. So, R-Truth is given a United States Championship match against Shinsuke Nakamura. Match starts off decent enough. Nakamura's trying to end it early. Truth hits a paydirt, although it looked like a big botch out of nowhere. Nakamura rolls out of the ring. Okay, calm down. Commercial break. Come back to it. Doing the grapples. R-Truth gets a roll-up on him. 1, 2, 3. What? What just happened? What just happened? I don't know. It was one of the strangest yet most satisfying moments I've had with the United States Championship in months. Not years, but months. I don't know if this was a botch. I don't know if this was a mistake. I don't know if this was planned. But R-Truth pinned Shinsuke Nakamura with a roll-up to win his second United States Championship. I'm in love. I am a big R-Truth fan. He was one of the first I saw when I started watching WWE. I'm aware of the character before his R-Truth days. I couldn't believe it. I loved it. I didn't hate it. I don't believe the United States Championship is the most relevant thing in the world. So if we're going to be turning it into the flip-floppity-floop title that just gets switched every, I don't know, week, maybe even, if it's the new hardcore 24/7 rule of just defend it all the time and lose, I don't know. But R-Truth pinned Shinsuke Nakamura to win the United States Championship. Warms my heart. Seems like a botch because Nakamura definitely looked like he kicked out. But the referee called a 3 count. Nakamura was yelling. They were about to keep on fighting, but the match was over. And then Rusev comes out. He calls on Truth that, why are you U.S. champion? Give me a shot. Carmella pushes Lana over, and Truth gives Rusev the shot and beats Rusev with the roll-up. Oh, my brain can't handle much more of this. R-Truth has just buried the United States Championship scene for the past 3 months, I think. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I love it. I am no longer at all invested in Nakamura and apparently a heel Rusev. Wow, what a failure. What a disgusting turnaround that was. And apparently he's teaming with Shinsuke Nakamura next week to face the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. I don't know what to say. I don't know if this was improvising. I don't know what this was, but all I know is R-Truth is United States champion, and it warms my heart. Let's see if we can continue, why don't we? Okay, moving on to the Cruiserweight Championship match, last match of the Royal Rumble kickoff. It was the Fatal 4-0 match. Buddy Murphy defending against Akira Tozawa, Kalisto, and Hideo Itami, the favorite in a lot of people's eyes. I couldn't feel comfortable enough putting my money on Itami. He won the triple threat on 205 Live. He looked the most likely to win. I thought there'd be a plan going into this with Tony Nese getting involved, but no, it was actually a great back and forth match. I loved it. Don't need to talk much about it because you just need to go watch it if you haven't already. And in the end, Murphy took down everyone. He hit Hideo with the Murphy's Law. 1, 2, 3. He pinned Itami and retained the Cruiserweight Championship. Way to go, Murphy. I knew they weren't done with you yet. Mwah, you gorgeous Australian man. I haven't seen any of 205 Live this week, so hopefully things are still going good with them. I think Kanellis is taking on Kalisto this week. I think that will hopefully be a good match. I like Mike Kanellis. I wish they featured him more. I think he's a really good wrestler, too. Kalisto's fun. See what happens. Moving on to the main show. First match of the night was the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch, Asuka, Women's Championship on the line. A lot of people had a speculation of how this was going to go down. I did too. And throughout the match, really enjoyed it. Great back and forth. Two really strong built characters on SmackDown going at it on pay-per-view for the championship. After many counters into finishers, into stealing finishers, Asuka won via the Asuka lock. That's right. She made Becky Lynch submit. Becky did not pass out. Becky tapped out to the Asuka lock. That was it. Done. She tapped. Asuka retains the championship. Becky Lynch seemingly is not going to get the WrestleMania moment she deserves. But no. We all know the glorious thing. The most satisfying part of the evening. We will get to that. Don't you worry. Let's talk about the next match, though. Although I guess I should go through. Asuka was not on SmackDown this week either. Before we can talk about Becky, we have to talk about the rest of the night. We'll get there. Calm down. We're going through this, all right? Tag Team Championships up for grabs next. It is Shane McMahon and The Miz, one of the most unlikely tag teams that actually have become a thing, taking on the Bar for the Tag Team Championships. Really good back and forth. Really enjoyed the Shane McMahon coast-to-coast attempt into a swing. Really great spot. In the end, they hit their finisher. I call it white noise. No, I don't call it white noise. Excusez-moi. I call it Swiss noise because it's Sheamus's white noise followed by Cesaro jumping on Sheamus from the top rope. Shane kicked out. Looks like they're going for the finish. Cesaro's picking Shane up for Sheamus to give him a bro kick. Miz pushes Shane out of the way. Sheamus bro kicks Cesaro. Miz skull crushing finale to Sheamus. Shane goes up to the top. Mwah! Beautiful shooting star press. 1, 2, 3. Shane McMahon and The Miz are tag team champions. I didn't know how far it would get, but I put my money in the right place here. They did it. And they had a good little scene on SmackDown, good tribute video. Miz's dad came out again. And they even already have plans for Elimination Chamber. That's right. They hosted a fatal 4-way elimination match for the #1 contendership to their tag team titles. It was Heavy Machinery. Love them already. Taking on the Bar, taking on the New Day, taking on the Usos. Fun match. Heavy Machinery got a pinfall win over the New Day. That felt good, but then the Bar came back, a little bit of an illegal maneuver. Cesaro, illegal man, uppercut. Sheamus bro kicked, I think, to Dozovic. and the Bar eliminate Heavy Machinery. But the Usos get the quick win, the super kicks, the takeouts, the splash. 1, 2, 3. Usos, new #1 contenders. Cannot wait to see the Usos versus Miz and Shane McMahon. I know a lot of people are really thinking to themselves, why is SmackDown Tag Division so predictable? Well, it's because it's good. That's why. The wrestling is on point with those guys. Cannot wait to see that match. Moving on, though, back to the Royal Rumble event. I believe we are into the Raw Women's Championship match now. Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks. This match impressed. I really enjoyed it. It was a great back and forth. A lot of storytelling to it as well. Ronda Rousey proving to the fans that, oh no, she can wrestle. She can wrestle. I'm not going to hate on her, although the more I think about Ronda, I feel like she should have been turned heel 2 months ago-ish. That's just how I'm kind of feeling about Ronda Rousey these days. I'm sick of the nice character. In the end, though, she pinned Sasha Banks with her spinning, what would that move be called? The brain is trying to keep up with everything going on because I've tried to discuss this so many times. But it was that spinning driver. It's called the Piper's Pit. And after hitting it, I think 3 or 4 times, she just pinned Sasha Banks. Sasha didn't look too happy, but they shook hands. Sasha comes back, though, gives this symbol. Oh, I don't know about that, Sasha. We'll see. We'll see about that, because I know what this means. But then we move into the Women's Royal Rumble match. Ooh, was not expecting this early, but it made sense. It was time for a Royal Rumble. Women killed it. Started with Lacey Evans and Natalya. Really good way to start. People coming in slowly but surely. Charlotte getting the big 13 number. Got a few surprises in there. Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, and that ninja lady. I cannot forget her name right now. Too bad. Xia Li, I think, was in there too. Really cool to see her. Maria Kanellis was in there too. That was kind of nice. And just some people who deserve the spots. Until finally it seemed like we were getting near the end, wondering, okay, wait a minute. We all know what we want. How can Becky Lynch get in this match? Well, number 28 came out. It was Lana, but she was limping terribly. Apparently, she really hurt her leg in the kickoff when Nakamura caused Rusev. Well, Rusev did it. You know what I mean. Rusev accidentally pushed Lana off the apron and Lana sold the leg. Well, she couldn't make it down to the ring. Nia Jax was number 29. She came out and actually attacked Lana. Then Carmella came out at 30, and everyone's killing it in the ring. Also, Alexa Bliss, really good to see you back in the ring. You look great, doing awesome stuff. And then what happens? Lana's still sitting there. Crowd's going crazy. Becky Lynch. Coming out, checking on Lana, and wanting to take her place. After a bit of convincing, of all people, it was Fit Finlay who approved her. Hit the ring, slowly but surely, the final 4 setting in. It was Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Carmella, and Nia Jax. Actually, excusez-moi, I believe it was Bayley. Bayley, who got a really good pop there too, but sadly Bayley went. Eliminated by Charlotte and Nia Jax. Jax then got eliminated by Becky. And Becky Lynch eliminated Charlotte Flair, even with a supposed bad leg, to win the Women's Royal Rumble. It was, without a doubt, one of the best moments of the year so far, and I think it's going to be the best moment from this Royal Rumble, looking in the long run of things. Becky Lynch, you did it. And even though it seems like you and Charlotte are going to be continuing your feud, maybe Charlotte gets to sneak in with your match with Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Because, yes, Becky did challenge Ronda Rousey. We know that already. Ooh, we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. But it's time to talk about the parts of the show that left me feeling a bit uneasy. It's time to talk about the WWE Championship match. AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan again. How are they going to do it this time? Well, it started with good wrestling, but there was an issue. We just went through a Royal Rumble match. We're a bit exhausted. I don't think we were ready for Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles after that. If anything, I think it should have been Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks after this match, and the WWE Championship match should have been earlier in the show. Just my opinion. Good back and forth, though. But as things are looking a bit too simple, who comes out? Not Mr. McMahon, Eric Rowan. I know, right? Did he just say Eric Rowan? I did. No Luke Harper. No Bludgeon Brother appearance. Eric Rowan in a flannel shirt. He stands next to the ring. The referee takes a bump. Styles hits the Styles Clash. Eric Rowan gets in the ring, grabs AJ by the face, hits some sort of a choke slam. 27 seconds later, Daniel Bryan pinned AJ Styles after the Eric Rowan interference and is still the WWE Champion. You may think I am about to go on a serious rant about why, but then this is what I love about waiting. As much as that did not work for the Royal Rumble, it's working in the long run of things. Eric Rowan not only has a new Tron, which is beautiful, and has resorted to his old music, which I like. Him and Daniel Bryan revealed the new WWE Championship. That's right, they did it. The leather title is gone. They have a new championship. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it already. You need to see it. It's awesome. And then we got our plans in the long run of things. Daniel Bryan will be defending his WWE title in an Elimination Chamber match. Not going to spoil the entrance because it was pretty big, pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. But Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan seem to be on the good of things right now. I'm not going to hate it at the Royal Rumble. I'm not. What am I going to hate on? I'm going to hate on that darn Universal Championship match, which is something that I think deserves much more hate than it's currently getting. Finn Balor, Brock Lesnar. First of all, no demon. Wasn't surprised by it, but it still annoyed me just the same. And then we had to focus on Lesnar's ribs and or stomach being hurt. Okay. Giving credit to what Finn Balor's doing so far. But why was Finn Balor just sitting so much of the match and just focusing on Lesnar that much? Didn't like that too much, honestly. Lesnar tried to hit suplexes and F5s, couldn't. Finn hits the coup de grace, but Lesnar catches him with a Kimura lock, a move that really hasn't been effective in his repertoire for years now. And Finn Balor tapped out to the Kimura lock. I know there were some pluses when you look in this. Oh, wow. Lesnar had to resort to a real-life UFC submission move to beat Finn Balor. And he beat him up after the match, too. Must have been scared. This wasn't the way Finn Balor should have been treated. I'm sorry. I was so behind it because it was similar to what you did with Nia Jax building back to Rousey. You just put so much investment into another chance with a character, but then it just fails again. And now he's going to be feuding with Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship. If he wins, great, but I don't know. Doesn't really tick boxes for me. I'm negative on this one. Finn Balor should have won that match. Should be Universal Champion right now. And Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman should finish their program. That's just how it should have been. I'm just speaking my opinion. This was handled terribly, and I will look on the worst of this situation. Again, just my opinion. Let me know what you think. But now it's time to wrap up things because we've made it through. Been more than 20 minutes so far. Let's talk about the last match on the show. Men's Royal Rumble match, main event of the show. First of all, Elias and Jeff Jarrett, who even showed up again on Raw with Road Dogg. Don't know what's going on there. All I know is Elias has turned heel. Okay, that is disappointing. Put a lot of investment into that character, and now it's just back to being a heel. Doesn't look like it's going to get anything great soon either. So, wow. Seems like we're getting the similar Jericho Legends feud at WrestleMania 25. See who turns out next week. Maybe the Honky Tonk Man. Maybe Billy Gunn. X-Pac. We'll see. Don't know. Anyway, people kept coming in. Nakamura was in it too. Kurt Angle was in it. And then we had the usual surprises. Velveteen Dream was not one of them, though. That hurt. Also, no Batista, no The Rock, nothing like that. I know there were big rumors about something with this. But at this point in the show, I think everyone was just exhausted and just ready to see a good-ass Rumble. Go home. Feel satisfied. Johnny Wrestling showed up, though. That was the highlight for me. Also, Pete Dunne, beautiful. Aleister Black, expected and beautiful. And then what happened with R-Truth, you say? Well, came in number 30, did some rapping, and who attacked him? Nia Jax entered the Men's Rumble. Eliminated Mustafa Ali. Then got super kicked, 619'd, and RKO'd, and thrown out. It was great. Didn't expect it, but it was actually pretty good. It actually sounds a lot better than you'd think. And just remember, R-Truth is your new United States champion. It's a beautiful thing. Now, when it comes to some spots, let's go through it. Seth Rollins came in number 10. Bobby Lashley came somewhere late in the late 20s, I think. He was in there for about 12 seconds. Very disappointing. He pulled out Seth, put him through a table, so Seth is out. Drew McIntyre comes in, decimates No Way Jose and his conga line on the way to the ring. That was great. Dolph Ziggler surprises everyone again and comes in at number 28. Do not believe what that man says. That's all I have to say about Dolph Ziggler. And eliminates Drew McIntyre. Oh, it's all gone. All the momentum Drew McIntyre has built to this point has faded. It's a major down. Drew, it's going to take at least after WrestleMania for you to become big again and get a chance, in my opinion. Disappointed to say that, but it's the truth. That's the way I feel. And then what happens? The final two. Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, curb stomp on the apron, and Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble. And he's coming after Lesnar. Can we just have a simple match where Seth Rollins can somehow beat Brock Lesnar and win the Universal title? Or does Brock Lesnar have to be champion until A, the end of time, or B, when Roman Reigns comes back and has to beat him and get his win back again? Yay, I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm a bit scared. Oh, a lot of thought going into this. But in the end, the main event of WrestleMania should be Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. That's what it should be. That's what it's going to be. There we go. Think we've made it. I feel better about this show than I initially did. Took a couple of days, but you all waited, stuck with me. Love you guys. We made it through January. Thank you all for waiting and watching and commenting and liking and sharing. Let me know what your favorite part of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view was. I cannot wait to read it. I will see you all in another video. 3 weeks is Elimination Chamber. Most likely it will be then. Love you guys. Keep it. What is it? Keep it real.